Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss anti-anginal drugs. Anti-anginal drugs are the drugs that prevent, abort, or terminate attacks of angina pectoris. Before going into the details of anti-anginal drugs, you must know that what is angina. Angina is a syndrome that is characterized by sudden severe chest pain radiating to neck, jaw, back, and arms, and often associated with diaphoresis, dyspnea, and nausea. Pain syndrome due to induction of an adverse oxygen supply or demand situation in a portion of the myocardium, and there are various forms of angina we will discuss in next slides. Three types of angina: stable angina, unstable angina, and the third one is variant angina. Stable angina, which is most common form of angina. In stable angina, attacks are predictably provoked by exercise, emotion, eating, and these attacks subsides when the increased energy demand is withdrawn. The underlying pathology is severe arteriosclerotic affliction of large coronary arteries, and these attacks can be relieved by rest and nitrates. Unstable angina, there will be a rapid increase in duration and severity of attacks, and most commonly it is associated with the rupture of an atheromatous plaque attracting platelet deposition. When there is platelet deposition, what will happen? There will be progressive occlusion of the coronary artery, and it can be associated with coronary vasospasm. Variant angina, which is also known as Prinzmetal's angina, it's an uncommon form of angina, and attacks occur at rest, or they may occur during sleep and are unpredictable. They are due to a recurrent localized coronary vasospasm, which may be superimposed on arteriosclerotic coronary artery disease. Before setting your aim of therapy, you must have a knowledge of cause of disease, and the main or the primary cause in angina is there is imbalance between myocardial oxygen demand and oxygen supply by coronary vessels. Three types of angina: stable angina, unstable angina, and the third one is variant angina. In this slide you can see that how we can reduce oxygen demand. We can reduce oxygen demand by using agents like beta blockers or calcium channel blockers. What they will do, they will decrease heart rate and contractility of the heart. When there will be decrease in the heart rate and contractility of the heart, there will be decrease oxygen demand. And how we can increase oxygen supply? By giving vasodilators. What they will do, they will do vasodilatation and they will increase the oxygen supply to that area. Here we have some anti-anginal agents. First of all, we will classify nitrates into short-acting and long-acting nitrates. In short-acting nitrates, we have glyceryl trinitrate, and long-acting is isosorbate dinitrate. And beta blockers, we have propranolol, metoprolol, and atenolol. And in calcium channel blockers, we have verapamil, diltiazem, and diferdipine. We can use potassium channel openers, nicorandil, and fatty acid oxidation inhibitors like trimazidine and ranolazines, and others which act as vasodilators, dipyridamole. We can classify anti-anginal agents into two main groups. First group is used to terminate acute attack, in which we use nitrates, and in second group we have anti-anginal agents which are used for chronic prophylaxis, all other drugs will fall in the second group. All organic nitrates share the same action, differ only in time course. The only major action is direct non-specific smooth muscle relaxation. How they will relax smooth muscles? They will produce nitric oxide, and nitric oxide will increase intracellular levels of cyclic GMP. And cyclic GMP will promote the dephosphorylation of the myosin light chain and the reduction of systolic calcium. And when there is dephosphorylation of myosin light chain kinases and reduced cytosolic calcium, the ultimate result we will get smooth muscle relaxation and vasodilatation finally. Slide. Mechanism of action of nitrates is beautifully described. Here what will happen? Nitrates will increase nitric oxide in endothelial cells, and nitric oxide will in turn increase the level of cyclic GMP, and cyclic GMP will dephosphorylate myosin light chain kinases, and what will happen? There will be relaxation of smooth muscles and vascular dilatation. Why nitrates play their beneficial role in case of angina? The most prominent action is exerted on vascular smooth muscles, and they will dilate veins more than arteries. Then what will happen? There will be decreased preload. And nitrates also produces some arteriolar dilatation, so there will be slightly decreased total peripheral resistance or decreased afterload. And in the arterial tree, nitrates preferentially relax bigger conducting coronary arteries than arterioles or resistant vessels. So this pattern of action may cause favorable redistribution of blood flow to ischemic areas in angina patients. And also nitrates reduce workload on heart. So there will be decreased oxygen demand, as well as they will also increase oxygen supply. Nitrates can be used in conditions other than angina, like in acute coronary syndromes, myocardial infarction, left ventricular failure, and to relieve pain of biliary colic. And in esophageal spasm, sublingual glycerol trinitrate promptly relieves pain. And if they are taken before a meal, they will facilitate feeding in esophageal achalasia by reducing esophageal tone. And they can also be used in case of cyanide poisoning. Nitrates generate methemoglobin, which has high affinity for cyanide radical, and so they will form cyanomethemoglobin. However, this may again dissociate to release cyanide. So sodium thiosulfate is given to form sodium thiocyanate, which is poorly dissociable and is excreted in urine. These are the side effects which one can experience while on nitrates therapy: flushing, weakness, sweating, palpitation, dizziness, and fainting. These are mitigated by lying down and accentuated by erect posture and alcohol. Fullness in head, throbbing headache, some degree of tolerance develops on continued use. Methemoglobinemia. Methemoglobinemia is not marked with clinically used doses. However, it can reduce oxygen carrying capacity of blood in severe anemia. The main side effect is tolerance. Attenuation of what will happen in tolerance? There will be attenuation of hemodynamic and anti-ischemic effects of nitrates occurs if they are continuously present in the body, and this tolerance weans off rapidly, maybe within hours, when the body is free of drug. Clinically, no significant tolerance develops on intermittent use of sublingual nitrates for attacks of angina. However, it may become important when nitrate is used orally, transdermally, or by continuous IV infusion. Tolerance to nitrate is said to be due to an alteration in the sulfhydryl receptors, or there may be a decrease in tissue sulfhydryl receptors. If used intermittently, tolerance to nitrates does not develop. And tolerance to the effects of nitrates such as headache or dizziness develops in people working in the chemical industries where nitrates are used. We will discuss remaining drugs for angina therapy in next lecture, inshallah.